Good evening. Welcome to the January 2nd, 2019 Annual Reorganization Meeting of the Milltown Borough Council. Will the clerk please read the meeting statement?
Let the minutes reflect that adequate notice of the holding this regular business meeting of the Borough Council was provided by the adoption of a resolution and the posting, filing, and forwarding of a copy of the same to the official borough newspapers, Home News Tribune, and Star Ledger Publishing Companies on December 27, 2018. Public participation in this meeting will be permitted during public hearings and after the agenda of scheduled matters has been completed.
Thank you. Please rise. At this point in time, I'd like to bring up Pastor Joshua B. Schuster of the United Methodist Church of Milltown for our invocation.
I hope everybody can hear me. I apologize. I'm sick. Let's bow our heads and hearts for a word of prayer. God, as we have this meeting this evening and we begin a new year, we pray for our town here of Milltown. We pray that as we move forward this year, may we be a community built upon love. May we be a community built upon love for others. May we be a community built upon helping each other and extending hands out to build each other up, a true small town that reaches out to help each other. We thank you for those who are serving here this evening and for those who are being elected. We thank you for their time, and we pray a blessing over them and their families as well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend. Please observe a moment of silence, followed by a salute to our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Okay, next on this evening's agenda is the administration of the oaths of office for Councilman-elect Nicholas Ligotti and Councilman-elect Randy Farkas. At this time, I will ask Councilwoman Mayer to please escort the two councilmen-elect into the council chambers. Please step up to the side, gentlemen. At first, we will have the swearing in of Councilman-elect Nicholas Ligotti. Present for Councilman Ligotti is his wife Joy and daughter Elizabeth, and daughter and son-in-law Marissa and William Vizicay. Please step up.
Repeat after me, Mr. Ligotti. I, Nicholas Ligotti,
I, Nicholas Ligotti,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
all the duties of council member
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, at this time, will we have the administration of the oath of office given to Councilman-elect Randy Farkas? Present for Councilman Farkas is Councilman Legati and Councilwoman Mayer.
Please repeat after me, Mr. Farkas. I, Randy Farkas,
I, Randy Farkas,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of council member
perform all the duties of council member
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
Now that all members of the Milltown Borough Council are seated, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Dixon?
Present.
Councilman Farkas?
Here.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Present.
Councilman Legati?
Here.
Councilman Mayer? Here. Councilman Revelinsky?
Here.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 present.
So moved. Next on the agenda is the election of the Borough Council President. I will open up the floor for nominations.
Nominate Trina Mayer.
Second?
Are there any other nominations?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Ron Dixon.
And I will second.
Are there any other nominations? With that, I will close nominations, and we will take these in the order as received. First would be the nomination and seconding of Councilwoman Trina Mayer.
Councilman Dixon?
No.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kerber?
No.
Councilman Legati?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mayer? Aye. Councilman Revelinsky?
No.
Mr. Mayor, we have 3 ayes and 3 noes.
Okay, that is a tie.
So it's defeated.
So that is defeated for now. We had another person, Ron Dixon. Will the
Yes.
clerk please call the roll for the nominations of Mr. Dixon?
Councilman Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
No.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
No.
Councilwoman Mayer? No. Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 3 ayes and 3 noes.
That one is also defeated.
Yes.
I will ask the Borough Attorney to step in. Good evening, Brian.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. In accordance with New Jersey statute, in the event that the council fails to elect the council president, the mayor shall appoint the president from the council, and there will be no confirmation from council or necessary.
Okay. So at that point, I will appoint for Borough Council President for the year of 2019, Ronald Dixon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, next on the agenda, Mayor's message. For all of you here or at home, it's time for hot chocolate, cookies, popcorn, walk the dog, change the transmission fluid. Whatever you have to do, this is going to take a little time. But please bear with me because, as you will see, a lot of really nice things have got accomplished last year. Pastor Schuster, councilors, borough employees and professionals, distinguished volunteers, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone who joins us from home. Good evening and welcome to the 2019 Reorganization meeting of the Milltown Borough Council. First, I congratulate Randy Farkas and Nick Legati on their re-election to the Borough Council. I welcome them back to this board and wish them much success in the years to come. As I have stated in the past, I strongly believe that if we choose to work together united to serve our residents, then together we will overcome every obstacle. I have every confidence each member of this governing body will perform their duty in a professional and effective manner. I continue to pledge my personal and professional support to all of our councilors. I will do anything in my power to help them succeed in their service to our residents, regardless of political affiliation. I eagerly look forward to working with this council, our residents, borough employees, professionals, and volunteers for the betterment of Milltown. As 2018 came to an end, so did my tenure as president of the Milltown County Conference of Mayors. In 2019, I will continue to represent Milltown as a member of the Middlesex County Conference of Mayors and as a member of the Board of Directors of the New Jersey Conference of Mayors. These positions allow me to continue to represent Milltown on the county and state level by building professional relationships and sharing governmental knowledge with mayors statewide. Capital improvement projects. As we look forward in 2019, many important projects have been completed or are being implemented in the borough. To give all residents of Milltown an opportunity to understand our capital projects, I have continued to display blueprint plans and 3D renderings on the walls in Borough Hall of all borough projects for public review and input. And for that, I'd like to take the time to thank Mike McClellan from CME, who makes sure we always get those copies. So thank you, Mike. In 2018, the construction of Phase 1 of the improvements to Wilson Avenue and Howard Street was completed. The improvements consisted of roadway and drainage improvements on Howard Street and on Wilson Avenue from Washington Avenue to Howard Street. Phases 2 and 3 were designed and advertised for bids and consist of roadway and drainage improvements on Wilson Avenue from Howard Street to the terminus and drainage improvements on Janet Court to Center Street. The entire project is being funded through multiple NJDOT. Let me read that again. The entire project is being funded through multiple NJDOT municipal aid grants totaling over $1 million. The design of the borough's elevated water storage tank rehabilitation was completed, and the project was awarded. The work is intended to begin in February of 2019. The borough is presently coordinating with cell phone carriers who have antennae on the tank to remove the equipment, which will allow for the improvements to be formed. I thought we were being held up because they couldn't find a stick long enough for the brush, but evidently I was wrong. So that's good to know that that's going to happen. The design of the new Public Works facility and firehouse was completed, and the project was awarded. The contractor has made significant progress with the site work, including substantially completing the stormwater, sanitary, and water on-site piping, the underground detention basin, and the various site grade separators. The construction of the buildings is anticipated to begin in early 2019. The borough's new electronic tax map is currently under review by the borough's tax assessor. The project included the development of parcel mapping that will serve as the basis of a future geographic information system for the borough. The preliminary maps have been completed, and a comparison to the Mod 4 is currently being conducted. The borough engineer will continue to work with the borough's tax assessor to rectify the Mod 4 comparison prior to finalizing the maps and submission to the state. The preparation of electronic water and sewer mapping was completed. The project included converting the existing Milltown water and sewer maps to geographic information systems files and adding all the new water and sewer improvements that were constructed since the preparation of the previous water and sewer maps. 2018 saw construction of handicap ramps and the repaving of segments of Washington, West Foch, and Cleveland Avenues. Finance office. A new recycling building and 2 new vans for use by our Office on Aging were purchased with grant money. 2 new utility trucks and a dump truck were also purchased to replace vehicles over 30 years old. The process to decommission and remove the old electric substation has begun, and we will eagerly look to its removal in the future. The finance office has made some staff changes due to 2/3 of the office staff leaving our employment. I believe we had a very good year overall in finance, We still need to work with the sewer/water utility to improve the financial outlook for those utilities. Department of Code Enforcement. 2018 was a challenging year for the Code Enforcement Department. Although major changes made by the state relating to permitting requirements for various projects caused a substantial drop in the number of permits needed and issued, I am pleased to report that the department did provide a surplus revenue for the 14th consecutive year. The department will aggressively be enforcing the final cleanup of Ford Avenue site during 2019. We will also continue the proactive approach toward maintaining the quality of life through our property maintenance program throughout town. Office of Emergency Management. 2018 saw 2 full activations of the Office of Emergency Management due to strong winter storms resulting in a state of emergency being declared by the state. The office continued to aggressively pursue obtaining vehicles and equipment through the federal government GSA. I am pleased to report that the final upgrade to the municipal radio system was funded in 2018, and that the new radios have been ordered and are expected to be put in service in early 2019. Shade trees. Although we have seen an increase of dangerous trees being trimmed and removed, I still strongly disagree with the council on their method of financing the long-range removal plan, now in place. Hazardous trees are an extreme public safety concern with the potential for dire circumstances when they fall. Removal of dangerous trees should be treated as a public safety emergency, not placed on an ever-growing list. The longer these dangerous trees are permitted to stand, the greater the risk to life and property of our residents. I believe the list should be compiled in totality, full financing put in place, and all trees in question fully removed. Then an annual tree removal list with financing within the parameters of a yearly budget can be instituted. This plan, coupled with a sane tree replacement plan, will work to reforest our once tree-lined streets and, in turn, increase the values of our home. Utility Department. Water rates were raised in 2018 to cover a revenue surplus shortfall caused by years of cost increase absorption, a loss of our skilled labor, crippling emergency repair costs and capital improvement projects, and unpaid user bills. We await a report on the financial status of the department and a possible review of future water rates. Department of Public Works. In 2018, the Department of Public Works succeeded in continuing all curbside collections of metal, bulk, leaves, electronics, TVs, and grass at no extra cost to the taxpayer. A new recycling building fully funded by the County Recycling Enhancement Grant was put up at 60 Violet Terrace. A $7,500 grant has also been awarded to Milltown to help improve town-wide recycling. A lot of training took place for numerous DPW employees. Classes included defensive driving, certified flagging, CPR, and first aid, and other various classes. The department expects to continue all existing programs in 2019 and to further explore shared services with other governmental agencies. Tax Collection and Utility Billing Department. The Tax Collection and Utility Billing Department will continue with monthly notifications to residential and commercial property owners regarding past due balances for taxes, electric, and water sewer. Electric service disconnection notices are being sent to customers with excessive balances. The department will continue the tax and utility sale program as we did last year. This aggressive policy has significantly reduced the total of delinquent balances owed to the borough. We continually review meter reading reports to determine if any inefficient water meters exist. If estimated billing over an extended time frame occurs, we inform the utility department to have these meters replaced with more efficient meters that are smart meter adaptable, which will provide accurate meter reading. The utility billing department's account clerk, Rosemary Schultz, has successfully completed Tax Collection 1 and is continuing classes in 2019 to fulfill the requirements of the Division of Local Government Services to achieve her tax collector's certification. In early 2018, Louise Murray was hired as a part-time assistant to the tax office and has been effectively cross-trained in both departments. 2018 has been another great year in the clerk's office. The clerk's office has continued with records maintenance and destruction, updated contracts management, and welcomed their new part-time employee, Nancy Moyo. The clerk's office was the hub of the website update project and worked diligently with departments to compile information to add to the new website. The clerk's office continues to keep the website updated with pending ordinances, agendas, and minutes of the Borough Council, as well as volunteer appointments for the local boards and committees. The clerk's office looks forward to continued updates to the site and assisting departments get forms, enrollments, information, and news flashes to the website. The clerk's office continued participation in the state-required records retention system and has worked with all departments to address records retention. This has included addressing storage of records, destruction of outdated records, and efficiencies in organization. The clerk's office has reviewed and updated licensing programs used within the department. The department has been able to send personalized notices that have significantly increased response time from business and residents. The clerk's office has continued work with departments to address the municipal code book. The borough will continue to work with departments to update the code book as necessary and to increase clarity in our regulations. Tax Assessor's Department. Our office processed approximately 197 deeds in 2018 to date, indicating that Milltown's real estate market has maintained its desirability. That's good news to all of us. The market value in Milltown has increased. Evidence can be seen by the slight change of the equalization ratio from 50.08% to 48.78%. This increase in the market would normally reduce the number of tax appeals filed for the following year. However, the increase in the tax rate may negate this. There were 7 county board tax appeals. There were no appeals filed at the state tax court. Currently, the data used to arrive at our assessment is over 21 years old and is no longer 100% reflective of what is physically present. Since the borough's rateable base consists of approximately 88% residential properties, a complete revaluation is needed to ensure that each property is assessed at the same standard of value. Recreation Department. As 2018 ends and 2019 begins, it's been a year of continuous change and success for the Recreation Department. Our year started with over 300 children participating in the Recreation Winter Basketball Program. The Fundamental Force Program, Spring Soccer, and Summer Recreation, as always, were a tremendous success. Fall soccer and tennis throughout the year is always popular. The adult yoga, men's basketball, and volleyball classes are all full. Our community events and trips are open to non-residents as well as our residents, which adds to our participation since other surrounding towns do not offer the variety of programs such as ours. Our programs continue to grow and would not be possible without our dedicated, certified volunteer coaches. Both the Recreation Director and the SAC Site Director have attended mandatory training throughout the year for SAC, as we are committed to ensuring a safe environment for your children while within our programs. The Borough Pool. We had the best pool season yet. With our new managers and supervisors, the pool flourished in 2018. We continue to add upgrades and improve ways to serve the community with ongoing events and programs as well as maintenance and upkeep of the pool. We look forward to the 2019 season with even more members to enjoy our beautiful facility. The Milltown SAC program. We finished up the year with more than 200 children participating in both school year SAC and summer SAC. We continue to provide quality childcare with our trained and dedicated staff. Thank you to our patient staff who work with our children day in and day out. Your commitment and dedication does not go unnoticed. The Food Bank. Through the Mayor's Food Bank appeal, this year, the Borough of Milltown collected a wonderful amount of non-perishable food items for those in need living in Milltown and for the Middlesex County Food Bank. We are always in need of non-perishable food all year long, and especially after the holidays. Non-perishable food items can be dropped off here at Borough Hall at any time. If you or your family are needing food items, please contact the Recreation Department for pickup arrangements. And as always, all calls are kept confidential. Police Department. Throughout the 2018 calendar year, our police department successfully achieved our goals by continuing to provide professional and effective law enforcement services to the community that we serve. Knowing that a high-visibility traffic enforcement program limits crime, our patrol officers conducted thousands of motor vehicle stops and conducted hundreds of radar runs. Our patrol staff responded to thousands of service calls ranging from medical emergencies, property crimes, violent crimes, and many quality of life complaints. Our Detective Bureau completed numerous criminal and narcotic investigations, resulting in many arrests and crimes solved. Furthermore, our police officers, communications staff, administration staff, and crossing guard staff participated in over 1,000 hours of mandatory training and professional development. This training helped us to maintain the highest standards and modern practices that our accredited status mandates. To be more fiscally responsible, our staff sought out ways to obtain much-needed equipment and funding for police-related services. We successfully obtained over $32,000 in government surplus through the LISO 1033 program, over $10,000 in DWI grant funding, and we were approved for a federal body armor replacement program. Thank you, Chief. Our staff participated in many community outreach events. Some of these events included the 2018 Special Olympics Torch Run and the 2018 Unity Tour. Our officers were very proud to raise more than $8,000 during the 2018 Winter Wool for a Cure campaign. Because of their efforts, a Milltown resident was able to obtain a service dog for a medical disability. Our staff also successfully rolled out our newest program, Operation Blue Angel, that focuses on elderly residents. We look forward to continuing the highest levels of professionalism in 2019. Our recently purchased officer-worn body camera system will help introduce transparency and accountability to the public. We have continued to strive for excellence and promise to maintain the high level of public trust that we have earned. And here's what you've all been waiting for. In closing, my dear friends, as always, I'm accessible to you 24/7 by phone, cell phone, internet, Borough Clerk's office, police dispatch, smoke signals, occasional knock on my front door. I'm available to meet with residents every day by appointment. I wish to thank everyone who contacted me and let me serve them in 2018. Please do not hesitate to share with me your thoughts, ideas about our town. In closing, I wish to thank everyone who worked so hard to make our beloved community the best place in New Jersey to live and raise a family. I believe Milltown is not just a collection of houses, buildings, and streets, but a close-knit family of wonderful and blessed people who want the best for the ones that they love. I thank you for this successful year of 2018 and eagerly look forward to serving as your mayor. From all of us at Borough Hall and on behalf of the Borough Council, I wish you all happiness, health, and prosperity in 2019. Thank you. With that, I will accept the motion that the mayor's message be spread upon the minutes of this meeting.
So be it.
I second.
Motion by Council President Dixon, seconded by Councilwoman Kerber, that the minutes be spread upon the meeting. Will the clerk, is there any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mayor? Aye. Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 ayes.
So moved, and thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is introduction of resolutions. This evening, a consent resolution has been prepared to cover the 35?
Yeah.
35 resolutions listed on this evening's agenda. If any member of the council would like any one of the resolutions acted upon individually, please give me the number of the resolution, and it will be removed from the consent agenda.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, 19-013.
013.
19-003.
Is it possible to ask a general question?
Not during the consent
Okay,
agenda.
all right, so then I would like to, oh, I gotta look. I'd like to pull 19022 and 19017.
Any others? Will the clerk please read the, actually, we're going to get ready to call the roll on that. This is reminding the council that we are passing the consent resolution, which will include all resolutions excepting numbers 19003, 013, 017, and 022.
Whereas pursuant to the rules of council, the council may establish a consent agenda for any regular or special meeting, and whereas the Borough Clerk has posted a consent agenda for this meeting, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Milltown, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, that the consent agenda previously prepared by the Borough Clerk be approved without the necessity of having the individual resolutions read by the Borough Clerk.
Okay, you've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move that this resolution be adopted.
Second.
A motion by Councilman Revelinsky, seconded by Councilman Legati, that the resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mayer?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 ayes.
So moved. Okay, will the clerk please read Resolution 19-003 by title?
A resolution of the Borough Council of the Borough of Milltown authorizing the appointment of borough consulting professionals for the year 2019.
Okay, you've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move that this resolution be adopted. Second.
A motion by Councilman Revelinsky, seconded by Council President Dixon, that the resolution is adopted. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Forgive me. This was a last-minute detail that was given to us at 5:45 tonight, and I cannot speak for the 3 Republican elected officials up here, but I can speak for the 3 Democratic elected officials up here, in that we believe that Resolution 19-003 in the future should be separated into a single resolution for each appointment. The 3 Democrats up here will have to vote no on this resolution, and I'd like to explain why. While there are, I guess, 20 appointments in this resolution, we disagree with 5 of them, and in the matter of disagreeing with 5 of them, we have to vote no on all of them. We don't think that that is the proper way to do things. We think that in the future, we should, have each one of these appointments in a separate resolution. That's my first statement. My second statement is, there are the 5 that I say that we disagree with. As far as the appraisal services, we believe that New Jersey Realty Advisory Group is a more qualified candidate in the RFP for appraisal services. The 3 Republicans disagree with us, and the mayor agreed with the 3 Republicans, and that's who is on this list to get appointed tonight. We believe bond attorney Walentz, Goodman, and Spitzer are a more qualified candidate in the RFP, and the 3 Republicans disagreed with us. Gluckworth LLP, and the mayor agreed with them. We believe that the borough attorney, Clarkin and Vignolo, is a more qualified candidate in the RFP. The 3 Republicans and the mayor introduced John Bruder as the borough attorney. We disagree. We agree that the borough auditor should be Hodgelek and Morrison, PA. The three Republican council people and the mayor selected Samuel Klein and Company. We disagree. We believe that the labor attorney should be Alan C. Roth. The three Republicans and the mayor believe that labor attorney should be Gilmore and Monahan. We disagree. In the future, we would really like to have a consensus before reorganization meeting that all of these appointments be made separately so that we don't have to vote no on every single one. You know, there's 5, there's 20, there's 15 that we agree with here, and unfortunately, we'll have to vote no because it's all under one resolution. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
No.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
No.
Councilwoman Mayer?
No.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 3 ayes and 3 noes.
I will ask the attorney.
Mr. Mayor, in the event of a tie, you have the, you're empowered to break that tie with your vote.
Okay, thank you. This time I will vote aye.
That makes it 4 ayes and 3 noes.
So moved. Okay, will the clerk please read Resolution 19-013 by title, please?
A resolution of the Borough Council of the Borough of Milltown establishing the time, date, and place of the Borough Council's regular and agenda meetings during the year 2019.
Okay, you've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move that this resolution be adopted.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Revelinsky, seconded by Councilwoman Mayer, that the resolution is adopted. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The reason I wanted this to discuss is that I believe Monday, January 14th, we should do a single agenda meeting. Many towns do an agenda meeting separate from the public business meeting and their first meeting of the month. And I'd like to see that happen in 2019 so that we have the agenda meeting on January 14th. And then on January 28th, we have, I guess, the public business meeting. And I'd like to get a consensus on that, please, from the council.
So you want the first meeting of every month to be simply agenda meeting? We sit down, discuss everything, and then the second meeting of every month be the public business meeting where we pay the bills and do all the other things?
That's correct.
Okay. I'll ask our BA, does that conform to the time frame in which bills need to be paid, or should we add to Councilwoman Kerber's recommendation that it's an agenda meeting as well as payment of bills?
I think you could add a payment of bills to an agenda meeting if that's what the mayor and council would like to see.
I disagree with it. I think you're taking some transparency away from the people of Milltown by shortening up it into a one agenda meeting. I think the people of Milltown are entitled to an agenda meeting and a full meeting. I think they deserve it. I think they want it. I think you're taking away some transparency.
I don't understand what transparency we'd be losing. It'd still be televised.
Not every resident can only make one meeting. You're giving them 2 meetings to come up and voice their opinion on certain things. You're giving them 2 times per month instead of once. In an agenda meeting, you're only allowed to talk about what's on the agenda.
The same goes for the
No.
public meeting as well.
No,
Okay.
you're wrong.
All right. I don't know, is it appropriate to try to work this out during the reorganization meeting?
It could be worked out now, or it could be held off till the next meeting, which may be a better idea. Straighten
Okay,
things
I
out.
would agree with that, but I'll give food for thought to the council before we do move along, so we could actually pass this and then revisit it at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
May I
would-
ask what the
excuse me,
reasoning is
One second,
for this?
because I don't know that this is the forum to
No,
sit
not,
and
no, I
hash
was
it
gonna,
out.
I was asking Councilwoman Kerber why we wanna go, why you wanna just do the agenda meeting.
Well, in the past, so as far as I know, I've been told, far past, we've always had it set up for an agenda meeting and then a public business meeting. And there's a lot of municipalities that do that. And we're still providing 2 meetings. There's a lot of things that are going to be changing this year, a lot of outreach, a lot of, I'm hoping, I mean, I'm working on things right now so that we have full discussions at the agenda meeting. It's not just going to be a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there, and then go into a business meeting and stay till midnight twice a month. Because agenda meetings should be focused on what we can present as programs, ideas, and discuss them and have a good full discussion. We haven't been doing that as much. Sometimes I'll bring in 4 or 5 ideas. Sometimes you bring 1 or 2 ideas. We should make it a more full discussion of an agenda meeting. Bring in outreach. We're supposed to be collaborating. That's all you hear about throughout the state and county. This new plan coming up, I think we should talk more about what's happening in our county as well as our town and moving forward in new areas that we want to do. We want to revitalize Main Street. We want to do other things, but we also have to have those discussions and share them with people, and that will bring them here as an agenda meeting. If you do an agenda meeting and business meeting each time, many people can't stay till 10 to midnight. This way, we're really doing our outreach for each chair, each kind of committee, but also if we want to bring in and have them discuss it further in an agenda meeting, we can, instead of rushing into a business meeting all the time.
So I've been on this council for a year, and our agenda meetings have pretty much ended by 7:15. So if it goes an hour, say, but then the other second meeting will be here till midnight, because we have so much to do at one meeting, instead of spacing it out to 2 meetings.
My suggestion would be, as I've been talking about for the past couple of years, first Monday is an agenda meeting, second and fourth are business meetings. This way you have a whole evening for agenda talk, and you have 2 weeks during the month in order to take care of business. So I would suggest we consider that. So I think if we could pass this as temporarily and revisit it, I would suggest that some of the council get together and try to work this out so we can revisit this at our next meeting. Would that be acceptable?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. So I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, and we can revisit this at the next meeting.
Are we going to change the resolution to reflect that? That this is only temporary to the next meeting?
Would that be appropriate, sir?
Yes, we could amend it.
Well, would
Okay.
you need to, or just
Chris, do you
maintain
have
it
to do
as
a new
is, and then
schedule?
if it's amended after a discussion at the next meeting?
After the discussion, we could also amend it, it's whatever the council's.
Okay, so you could tack on to it to say to be, that this is temporary to be discussed at the next meeting. Would that be acceptable, Councilman Farkas?
Yes, it is.
All right, who made the motion?
I
think
did.
it was,
Councilman Revelinsky made the motion.
and it was seconded by Councilwoman Mayer?
Yes.
Will you both agree to that caveat on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
Aye.
Councilman Mayer?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 ayes.
So moved. Okay, next we have, will the clerk please read Resolution 19-017 by title, please?
Resolution of the Borough Council of the Borough of Milltown appointing members to the Office of Emergency Management.
Okay, you've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
I move that this resolution be adopted.
I second.
You have a motion by Councilman Revelinsky, seconded by Councilwoman Kerber, that the resolution is adopted. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I had a general question about this and one other. Why are these the only ones that have council represented? Why does it have a council representative?
Why does the office
So there's a
of...
bunch of committees that don't have council representatives, but this one does.
This is the way this, I believe, was set up before I got here. There's been a council representative on the OEM, as far back as I could recall.
But there's about 20 others that don't have a council representative.
A lot of the other committees and agencies are under the subcommittees, and that's how they follow their council representatives. OEM was always one that had the same thing with planning board and zoning board, although those two council representatives are addressed in liaisons. So is Ford Avenue, or I'm sorry, not Ford Avenue, OEM is also
Right.
addressed in those. It's almost redundant to put it in the resolution. It's just a clear depiction of what's on that.
So the Office of Emergency Management would be the public safety, the the council person who is in charge of public safety. That would be their,
Actually,
Committee.
the Office of Emergency Management falls under the Office of the Mayor, not under Public Safety. And there is a council
so
representative.
then why aren't you on there?
Don't know, didn't see my name.
Yeah, so that's,
But there's also a lot of other things, so I'm guessing we'll be getting another list in the near future to be amended probably at the next meeting.
so the person that's in charge of public safety has no oversight over the Office of Emergency Management Committee?
Absolutely not, never has.
That doesn't seem like it makes any sense.
That's the way the statute is set up.
Well, is there some way that we can take a look at the statute and make it correct?
We can
I guess
absolutely
what
take a look at it.
Councilwoman Trina Mayer is trying to, work around is that the person who's in charge of public safety in the past has always been appointed to the OEM. Last year, that was not the case, and this year, it doesn't look like it's the case. I would ask the question why. I asked the question last year, and I got a really ridiculous answer. I'll ask the question again. Why isn't the person who is in charge of public safety a representative on the OEM?
I will get clarification for that. for you.
From whom?
It's your,
It's your
you're
commission.
the one that has to answer
Well,
that
I'll find
question.
out from
Well,
a little bit
we
higher
can wait
up
while
than
you
me.
can consult with yourself for a second if you'd like.
I have, and I will get you clarification from, I guess, the governor's office. This way, it takes it out of the local realm. And I think that would be.
Well, no, it's just,
It's your choice
Exactly, it
to
is my
to do
choice.
the right thing.
Well, I do the right thing. Thank you.
Not according to this.
Will the clerk please call the roll, please?
Wait, I have another question. Why on emergency management is there 7 blank spaces?
Because we haven't received citizen leadership applications for members for that board. So the volunteer appointments can't be made without the citizen leadership application. So we're waiting for those, and then we would address them when they are received, hopefully this month.
But wasn't there a deadline for those to be in?
We did ask for a deadline by the end of last year, but we have always accepted citizen leadership applications
Throughout the year.
throughout the year. The deadline was more inclined to say that if it wasn't by then, we wouldn't be able to appoint you at tonight's meeting.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
No.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
no.
Councilwoman Mayer?
No.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 3 ayes and 3 noes.
Once again, Mr. Mayor, in the event of a tie, you have the power to break that tie.
I vote aye, thank you.
4 ayes and 3 noes.
Okay, will the clerk please read Resolution 19-022 by title, please?
Resolution of the Borough Council of the Borough of Milltown appointing members to the Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency.
Okay, you've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Move that this resolution be adopted.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Revelinsky, seconded by Council President Dixon, that the resolution is adopted. Is there any discussion?
Oh, yeah, I pulled this for the same reason. So now we have on this one, mayor and council representative. What-
This was done years ago. Actually, I think my first year on council, I became the council liaison for this because I was already serving on the Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency, and the mayor also serves. And I believe there was a requirement, Denise had told us at the time, you can't have more than 2 elected officials serving on Ford Avenue redevelopment. So since I had already taken the classes and served on Ford Avenue redevelopment, it just made sense that I would then become the council liaison since I was already a member.
What is this another mayor committee, or is this under one of the departments?
The Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency?
Yes.
It's the agency responsible
No, I
for
know
the
what it is,
redevelopment of
but-
Ford Avenue and
Is it-
transfer ownership of the property and dealing
Who
with all
does
the
the
legal
appointment?
issues.
For Ford
It's
Avenue?
citizen leadership, and then it's approved by the members of the committee, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the ordinance for Ford
Or
Avenue
chairman.
explicitly states that the mayor is a member.
Correct.
I'm not 100% sure what the ordinance states for appointments, if I'm being honest. I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure if it's mayor or council.
And what classes were involved with that?
No, you have to take two in regard, one in regards to planning and another one into redevelopment, rights or requirements, responsibilities, roles of the agency.
Who did it prior to you?
Several people over the past 12 years.
Always a council rep?
There was a council representative, and when I came on board, I believe Buddy Guyette was the council representative. I then served as a member of the community. Buddy stepped down or didn't run for council again. I was on council at that time, so I stepped into the council liaison role. I can't speak for all the members that were on there before me.
Okay, thank you.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mayer?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 6 ayes.
So moved. Next, we'll move to mayoral appointments. Will the clerk please read, I guess it's a resolution? I can't find my, I don't have a copy of the actual appointments, I don't think. In my bag of tricks here. I got it. There you go. Okay, at this time, I wish to make the following appointments. Middlesex County Transportation Coordinating Committee, Dorianne Kerber. Middlesex County Solid Waste Advisory Committee, Ralph Jazanowski. Middlesex County Housing and Community Development Committee, Nicholas Legati. Middlesex County Urban Forestry Advisory Committee, Dorianne Kerber. These are all one-year appointments and will be expired at the end of this year. Although they don't need council confirmation, do we need to run through the list of folks for?
Yeah, we usually just adopt the resolution as to be put into the minutes,
Okay.
essentially.
Will the
It's not an agreement or disagreement.
Right, will the clerk call the roll, please?
Does he need a motion and a second or anything like that?
No, because it's his appointment, you're just confirming him. So Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mayer?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
6 ayes, Mr. Mayor.
So moved. Okay, next on the agenda is council assignments made by the Borough Council President.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Department of Environmental Health and Social Services, I appoint as a chairperson Councilman Farkas, assisted by Councilwoman Muir and Councilman Legati. Department of Finance, Administration, and Planning, I appoint myself as chairperson alongside Councilman Legati, Councilman Kerber. Department of Parks and Recreation, I appoint chairperson Richard Revelinsky, Councilman Farkas, and Councilwoman Muir. Department of Public Safety, I appoint Councilman Nicholas Legati, myself, and Councilwoman Dorianne Kerber. Department of Public Works and Recycling, chairperson, I appoint Dorianne Kerber, myself, and Councilman Richard Revelinsky. Department of Utilities, chairperson is Trina Muir. Committee would be Councilman Revelinsky and Councilman Farkas. And that is Resolution 19037.
Is this the same?
Yeah,
Format
just a
is the
motion
last
to
one?
confirm, and then
Can
it's
I-
just confirming.
Okay, do we need to make a motion for confirmation?
Nope.
Okay, will the clerk call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
No.
Councilwoman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
No.
Councilwoman Mayer?
No.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 3 ayes and 3 noes.
Once again, Mr. Mayor, in the event of a tie, you have the power to break that tie.
I will vote aye. Okay, next is the resolution. There you go, Council President.
Resolution 19038 is the establishing council representatives to boards, committees, agencies, and commissions. Suggested to the Board of Health is Councilman Farkas. Environmental Health and Social Services, Councilman Legati.
That's the,
Sorry.
don't worry about this, it's just these.
Okay.
Yeah.
Board of Health. Okay. Okay. Environmental Health and Social Services, the community's community development, revenue sharing rep would be Councilman Legati. Environmental Health and Social Services, the Environmental Commission, be Councilman Farkas. Environmental Health and Social Services, the Green Team, Councilwoman Dorian Kerber. Environmental Health and Social Services, Milltown Chamber of Commerce, Councilman Randy Farkas. Environmental Health and Social Services Senior Center Advisory Committee, Dorian Kerber. Finance Administration and Planning, Milltown Historic Preservation Committee, Councilman Legati. Finance Administration and Planning, Board of Adjustment, Councilman Legati. Finance Administration and Planning, Cable TV Commission, Councilman Revelinsky. Finance Administration and Planning, Ford Avenue Redevelopment Agency by Richard Revelinsky. Finance Administration and Planning on the Planning Board, Councilman Farkas. I'm sorry, and Public Safety, that's under the Emergency Management, that would be myself. Public Safety, Milltown Fire Department, myself. Public Safety, Milltown Rescue Squad, myself. Public Works, the Shade Tree Committee, Dorian Kerber. Recreation, Board of Education, Trina Muir. Recreation, Milltown Library Board, Councilman Revelinsky. 4th of July Celebration Committee, Richard Revelinsky. And Recreation, Trina Muir. Those are my appointments, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Would clerk please call the roll?
Council President Dixon?
Aye.
Councilman Farkas?
Aye.
Councilman Kerber?
Aye.
Councilman Legati?
No.
Councilman Mayor?
No.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, we have 4 ayes and 2 noes.
So moved. Okay, audience comments. Please state your name and address for identification on the record. I'll open audience comments.
Phil Zembran at 40 Van Loo Avenue. I've just got one question concerning the resolutions. So the agenda's great, not only here and for every agenda meeting, but without the resolutions being actually posted on the website, this agenda really doesn't serve the public in terms of transparency a lot. Is there any reason why resolutions actually aren't posted on the website at this point?
Have any answer for that?
Resolutions are considered advisory prior to their adoption, so they're not something that we would generally release prior to a meeting nor post on the website. And then the other side of that is the sheer volume of posting them on the website would be excessive in the sense of navigation and storage.
Isn't that why, I'm sorry, Mr. Zambran, if I may, isn't that why we moved to get a new website too, is the ability to post these things? Most other towns I've noticed.
Thank
To
you.
your point,
Yeah.
have them up there prior to, here's the planned agenda, and then they publish the actual roll call, the votes and everything on there. It would
The
serve the
minutes get
community better to
posted?
have them up there.
The minutes get posted, which include the resolutions, once they're adopted, but the resolutions are generally not posted, it's ordinances, agendas, and minutes. They're not, resolutions are generally not posted separately.
Okay, well, can we
No.
try to work that out so that they can be? Is that something we can
We
inquire?
can definitely look into it.
Even if it's just, stated that it's in draft, it's something. But looking at an agenda, and you have all this is summary. It doesn't give you the detail. If not, then it becomes an Oprah issue, and I don't have a problem doing that. It just doesn't, again, speak to the transparency issue. And for the record, it's actually pronounced mayor. Thank you.
Thanks. I like the Ghost of Mrs. Muir. I'm old enough to remember that show.
Anyone else?
Exactly.
Randy Riley, 58 Oaks Avenue. I guess I'll address it to Mr. Legati since you spoke on it before. I just want to make sure I read my notes. Your issues for the 5 business professionals who were with you were New Jersey Realty, Willents, Vignola, and Hudlick and Morrison?
Hodgelack.
I'm sorry.
Hodgelack.
I admit my pronunciation is not what it should be. I apologize if they are here. I don't mean to be disrespectful. In speaking with other towns and other boroughs, my understanding is New Jersey Realty can be quite expensive. Do you happen to have it? If you don't, if you can get it to me in the next week or two, I'd appreciate it. What they sent in for their, I don't know what you want to call it, their request for...
I don't have to get that for you. You can ask the clerk for that.
Oh, okay. Gabriel, do you have any chance, do you know what their minimum billing hourly is, or did they provide that?
They did, they had I don't have it with me.
Okay.
It was fairly comparable.
Their range, they had a range where I believe they both had a range. I don't remember what Realty was off the top of my head.
You have it on the sheet that was provided to us for council. Minimum and maximum, 125 an hour. Sterling DeSanto and Associates was a minimum of $50 an hour with a maximum of $150.
One less thing to
So-
get back to me, thank you. And regarding Willents and Hudlick, excuse me again if you're here, I'm pronouncing it wrong, and Vignola, your only issue is that you feel that they're more qualified?
That's correct.
May I, with respect, I ask this question, and I don't mean to embarrass, but are you aware of how much each of those individuals contributed to your campaign, and Mr. Farkas and Ms. Mayer's, the last 2 years? And if I pronounced it wrong, again, Gina, I apologize. I'm not good with pronunciation either.
Mayor.
That's not meant to be disrespectful in any way.
Not at all.
Thank you.
If you don't stop at this time, it's going to get crazy in here. So you better put an end to it, or I am.
If you don't want to answer my question, just say I don't want to answer. I'll sit down, Mr. Legati. I'm not trying...
Bringing politics into this room again, and you are allowing it.
Excuse me. Contain yourself, please.
I'm just curious.
Discussions like that we can hold after the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Would you be willing to talk with me after the meeting, Mr. Legati?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I
Anytime need.
appreciate it.
Anyone else?
Carolyn Viola, 17 DeBonis Drive. I'm not sure how to phrase this, but I'm curious if the mayor can explain the rationale for the tie-breaking votes throughout the evening. Every single time you've agreed in one direction?
Yeah, because that's my conscience told me that those are the people that I'm comfortable with serving with in those capacities.
Every single vote since you've been elected that you've voted in favor to break a tie in one direction. You've
Yes.
never, statistically, that's almost impossible that you wouldn't disagree one time.
No, I do not. I do not disagree.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just so, since we brought politics into here tonight, it's very clear the politics still exist on this council. Total disappointment. Total disappointment. Again, starting the new year with your little fun note, but your actions speak differently, and it's very disappointing.
Well, I, as an elected official, can bring in the people that I am comfortable serving with.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay.
That's it.
Right. Enjoy your last year.
Thank you. Certainly will. You too. Anyone else? Seeing none, I will close audience comments and open up council comments. Hearing none.
Ms. Chubb, I was waiting for everybody else to jump in, but I'll jump in. To the point that was just brought up about your message, Mr. Mayor, and I will just ask, I feel badly that you don't feel comfortable working with me, and I'm curious as to why.
Well, I don't have anything personal against anyone that sits up here. However, I have to surround myself with people I'm comfortable working with. You got to remember, too, last year there was a letter put out by you and your party telling the whole town that you're not comfortable working with me. There was a vote of no confidence. So
Yeah, unfortunately, that was after you chose to work with them for 11 out of the 12 months.
Look, it is what it is.
Okay,
You have me
anyway.
for another 12 months, and we'll get on
Well,
with it.
and that brings me to the next point, which is we are 7 people that were elected up here. And I think it's a true shame that we cannot be a collaborative body, because it is my opinion that 7 bright people who care enough about the borough of Milltown to be up here cannot work together. A collaborative body means we all work together. We just don't play with the people that we feel comfortable with, but we work with every single person up here, not for us, but for the 7,000 residents of Milltown. So when you look at the, and to the point too of not bringing politics, proposed by Republicans, proposed by Democrats, my opinion would be, let's just do what's best. Let's all 7 of us sit around and say, who are the best people for this job? Not who do I hang out with, who do I have a beer with, who do I feel comfortable with? And that way,
Excuse me one second. I have a question for, maybe the clerk could jump in here. Was I not in your office the other week, and I asked you to reach out to council people from either party to work out the discrepancies with the list of people that were submitted?
And there was one council member that responded. Out of the 2 she sent it to, 1 responded, correct?
yes.
Okay.
And who would that be?
And that would be me.
Did they meet?
No, I was the only one that responded.
Well, I didn't hear that.
Then don't ask the question you don't know an answer to.
Well,
'Cause I knew
that's
the
why I
answer
asked
to
the
that
question,
question.
because you
So-
don't know the answer.
Year after year, Mayor, you've asked for, you give your message, and I think the most important thing that you say in it is, I strongly believe that if we choose to work together, united to serve our residents, then together we will overcome every obstacle.
Correct.
But
as mayor,
every
I'm allowed
move
to
you made
choose
this
the
evening was
potential.
counter to that.
That
Is not together, that is again pitting 3 Republicans against 3 Democrats, with you being the deciding vote.
If you don't
Now,
like my
all-
decisions, work together.
If I may, I'd like to chime in
I
real
no,
quick.
no, I'm still doing my comments, excuse
Happy
me.
New Year. Can we save the bickering for
It's not
later?
bickering, I am having
come
my
on,
council
let's-
comment. So
let's move
also,
forward.
you will notice that we talked about before the end of the year, doing the commissions in the correct way so that it was fair, and also that people would, have it in the right, like the Environmental Commission should be all under the same people. And you can see that that is what we suggested, that, under public safety, it should be Councilman Ligotti. Under whoever was the Environmental Commission, they should also have the Green Team, the Chamber of Commerce. So the way that, if you don't want to bring politics into it, the way that these commissions are set up is 100% political, because it gives people a certain advantage to be with certain groups.
They're
So
chosen
all
by
of this
whoever
is
becomes the borough council
counterintuitive
president.
to what we are trying to do up here, is to be a collaborative body. And I will also say that at the end, when you say that you are available 24/7 by phone, smoke signal, cell phone, is that for residents and for council members?
It's for everyone.
But that is just blatantly untrue.
That is not untrue.
Mayor, really, you're going to sit there with a straight face and say that?
Absolutely.
That you answer all of your phone calls, emails, texts?
As I can get to them, absolutely, yes.
Oh, as you can get to them, I see.
Mr. Mayor, can I speak from one moment,
I
please?
didn't know that I was done with my comments yet, but
I apologize.
thank you. So I would just like to wish everyone a happy new year. I certainly hope that throughout 2019, we can be a collaborative body. It's not one side takes their ball and goes home if they're not playing well with others. So I would encourage just like kindergarten, we all have to work well and play well with others. And that means whether you like me or not, that I don't really care. However, I would expect you to share information with us, to email the full council when you have information. I mean, a lot of times last year things happened and we all don't get the information. And it would behoove the people of Milltown greatly if you had 7 people working together for the best interests of all. If you went to a mayor's meeting about shared services, do you know how much I know about shared services? 0, because you never shared the information. the same thing with anybody else up here that has various things that go on, should share with everyone. And that way, we're all brought up to speed, and we're all more prepared to make the decisions to help the people of Milltown. We shouldn't have to come here and beg for information from one another. That's what a true collaborative body is.
Correct.
And so you, as the leader, I would implore you to make that happen.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, your decision here tonight, right off the bat, is going to stop that from happening.
Unfortunately, Councilwoman, just because you and I may not see eye to eye on some things doesn't mean that either one of us are incorrect.
I didn't, of course, and I agree. I appreciate your opinion. However, as Ronald Reagan said, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? What's the definition of insanity? You do the same thing over and over again, hoping you come up with a different outcome. So you've done the same thing for 3 years, appointed the same people to the same jobs, and have things gotten any better?
Well, the council
Not
appointments are
necessarily.
not the mayor's. They're the council appointments.
Yeah, but you set that in motion. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, in terms of the green team, I appreciate serving Milltown. I will be serving Middlesex County. In terms of what I've been doing for the last 4 years, actually 5 years, I've been attending a lot of work sessions through Sustainable Jersey, Rutgers, and I will be trained for the Green Infrastructure Champion for Milltown and represent Milltown. In addition, I'm going to be representing the county. They're looking for more people who would like to get this training. We want to solve flood issues. May not be the big giant solutions, but there's some solutions that we need to combat. And we got to get businesses, residents, and the like, nonprofits, our churches as well, on board. Because if you look around town, and this was the rainiest season ever, things are going to not stay up. Trees are going to be falling more down. And if you've noticed that, I have noticed that in the last 2 years at Milltown Park. Now that the leaves are not there, you can see what we have to do. We've got to do initiation of cleanups. I've reached out to Rutgers, many departments. That's why I'm on the green team. I've already have several towns reaching out to me for my support and my knowledge. And I like sharing. I like providing information. I take webinars. I do lots of things with the green teams. And I'm very proud of it. I'm proud to represent Milltown, and I appreciate the appointment. Thank you.
And I think you do a good job, Dorian, I really do, and I appreciate it. I will say I haven't gotten any information from you about it, but what I would say was, then, if that's your passion, then your council president should have appointed you to the Environmental Commission. So in other words, you can't have one person be the environmental, but you're the green team, or one person be public safety, but the other person be all the positions under it. In other words, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you're passionate about OEM, fire, and police, then be the head of the public safety. But you can't keep everything for yourself and then parse out the little pieces to other people, was my point.
No, I
It should all
understand.
be under one bucket, would be the more fair and equitable way to do it, and also the more efficient way, because that way everybody would know that if Nick has all of that, if you have any issues, you go to Nick. Now, he's public safety, but gee, if it's OEM, I guess you got to try and track Ron down over at the Legion.
Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if I may. And I don't need any rebuttal comments or responses. It's just my opinion. This was brought up at the last meeting about, kind of tapering it and saying if you're in charge of, and I'll just use public safety because that's kind of what everyone's been talking about, is public safety, you should have police, fire, and Office of Emergency Management, all that jazz underneath you. And while the mayor said, well, we can look into that, I kind of thought, I like the way it's set up now because the person who's in charge of public safety isn't necessarily the person in charge for those other ones. And now you have to work together. If you want the information from public safety and with OEM and with fire and police, you have to work together to share it. Now, if there's confusion, it's because people aren't working together. And the same thing goes. If you look at any of the committees that we have tonight, now granted that the chairman of the committee might not be necessarily the person that one party appointed or the other, but there's members from both parties on each committee, for the most part. And there's a good diversity here. If we do our jobs and talk to each other, then we can achieve great things. And I will say that my favorite Ronald Reagan quote is that there is no limit to what a man can achieve as long as he doesn't care who gets the credit. So with that said, Happy New Year. And hopefully we can get through the next meeting a little bit more quickly.
Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to thank everybody on the induction today. I'd like to congratulate my running mate, Randy Farkas, on his election.
Congratulations.
People might see that I'm a little bit passionate up here, and I apologize, but I will not stop being passionate. This is the second meeting in a row that politics was brought into this chamber, and the mayor who runs this meeting did not control it, did not stop it, was going to let it go on for as long as it would. And I gotta be honest with you, years and years ago, when I sat out there where you were, and Gloria Bradford sat in his seat, I would absolutely confirm that if I ever whispered anything about politics, that very nice woman in an atmosphere other than this chamber, she would shoot me down in a second. She would not allow it to occur in this chamber. And the mayor should take her advice and take her history and do the same thing. Do not allow politics in this room again. This is the second meeting in a row. I apologize for my passion, but it should not be done. Have a good night.
Anyone else?
Just one more thing, just that I want to point out. Over the last 2 years, by my count, and I have a little scorecard over here, the score is 23-0, your votes for the Republicans, and 0 for the Democrats. So I think that's important that everyone should know that. So 23-0 against us.
Wow me.
The only thing I can tell you is if you were playing baseball, you'd be in the Hall of Fame.
Wow me. Come up with something good, and I'll vote for it. Mayor's comments. I think enough has been said here tonight. I appreciate everyone here. I appreciate everyone's time, regardless of your political persuasion. And I appreciate all of you. Hopefully we'll have a good year in 2019. And with that, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Non-debatable. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.